There she is. Hi,
Hi,
Kat. How good to see you.
I know it's been such a long time.
Such a long time, but I was telling your Latin fans how sweet you are, how professional you are. I have very beautiful memories since the first time that I talked to you in a restaurant, Latin restaurant, New York. Do you remember?
Yes, we ate empanada. I tried some of the cuisine for the first time. It feels like so long ago, though, right?
Yeah, a lot of things are happening in your life, and I'm very proud. But even that I'm not from Philippines, I think that some way somehow you are part of Latin America. You one of your biggest friends are here in this part of the world, and I would like to know what do you think about your Latin fans, because it's not Asia, it's not Africa, it's not Europe. You have fans all over the world, but you mean so much for Latin. So I would like to know, what do you think about your Latin fans when you realize how important you are for the lovers of beauty pageants, and you became one of their favorites. I would like to know, what do you think about it?
It's so flattering and it makes me so happy to feel the love, not just from my part of the world, but also from Latin America. I was able to travel to Colombia last year and I was able to feel that love in person. And I love that there is such a huge community that celebrates pageantry alongside with me because I really believe pageantry is a celebration.
Yes.
It's about cheering for your candidate, but also celebrating all of the women from around the world. So I'm very grateful to my Latin fans. I'm sending you all love, and I very much appreciate your support.
And I'm the one who can say that how sweet you are, not just with the lovers or the fans of the beauty pageants. You are very special for to everyone, to everybody from a different part of the world. But in Latin America, I feel that you are part of us. So I
Oh,
think,
thank you.
I don't know. I would like to think, I would like to dream that someday, somehow, you're gonna live in this part of the world. Have you ever visualized living here in Latin America? Well, I live in Miami, United States, but I'm talking to. Well, I work for Telemundo, and we are in more than 20 countries all over the Latin
Mhm.
America. So I would like to know if you're visualized someday, somehow, in your professional career, living in Latin America.
Well, it would be interesting. I would love to travel first and get a feel of the area. And of course, I would think I would need to work on my Spanish. But I would love to just be in that area to really experience the culture firsthand because I think there's a different opportunity to know how people live, to experience culture, tradition when you actually stay in an area for a long amount of time. So I hope that once the world gets a little bit back to normal in terms of the pandemic and travel becomes more lenient, I would love to see myself in that side of the world very soon.
There is, well, you told me a few minutes ago that you went to Colombia lately. You were judge in Miss Universe Colombia, and
Yeah.
but being as a Miss Universe, I guess you travel a lot to many countries in Latin America. There is a country that you would love to have the experience to live in Latin America.
Ooh. It's a difficult question, but I've always wanted to visit Peru.
Uh huh. Oh, the
It's
the
been
food
on
is
my bucket
delicious.
list for the longest time. Of course, it has so many iconic spots, and I would just love to experience the history there. But I think it would be a pity just to go to Latin America and only go to one country. Like, why not travel to all the neighboring countries? So I'm really hoping that I'm able to travel soon and hopefully tour around a little bit, be a bit of a tourist and enjoy what it has to offer.
Yeah, well, and this was one of the questions that your fans asked me to ask you, and I think is a very fun question. Is, do you have any Spanish favorite word?
Oh, actually, I don't have a large vocabulary of Spanish, unfortunately. But to that fan, I would love for you to comment in our live if you're here. What is your favorite Spanish word? Perhaps Luis can help me learn it.
Listen, one of the best things that I can say about you is that even that you were Miss Universe a few years ago, 2008, you you have been very strong for the pageantry world. And Andrea Mesa, Miss Universe 2020, in many occasions, different interviews she said that one of the biggest role models in this pageantry world were Catriona Gray. What do you think about that? That the new Miss Universe says that you were her biggest role model in this world.
I think it's wonderful, and I think it's also because I think she relates a lot to my journey. We both came from a previous international pageant, top five. I believe she was first runner up. And I think with that, when you fail to grab the title for your country, it can feel very fearful to then again try again at a pageant like Miss Universe. And of course, I'm sure just like me, she experienced her fair share of people saying, no, you're not going to succeed there. Why would you try again? And yet she conquered all. And just like me, I think it's a testament to how life is not about failing and then not getting back up again. Life is really about when life hits you down, you get back up and you try again. And I love that her journey, just like mine, represents that. And I see that she's doing so well as a reigning Miss Universe. She's been a great advocate for getting vaccinated. And in terms of the pandemic, she's still continuing the roles and responsibilities of a Miss Universe. And I hope one day soon I'm able to meet her in person. But I wish her all the best. She's doing such a wonderful job.
Yes, yes, you're right, and you make the people know that second opportunities will be bigger than you expected. So that's
Yeah.
the biggest lesson that you're giving the world. And also, well, you said that you haven't met her personally, but have you ever talked to her?
Well, we've exchanged messages on social media, but I think it'll be much more memorable when we meet face to face. And when I was a Miss Universe, I always got so excited to meet the previous Miss Universes because these were the very women that I myself looked up to when I was preparing for the pageant and the people that were my inspiration. So I hope that I get that experience with her as well.
Oh, that's nice. That's beautiful. Well, let's talk about Catriona Gray right now because I know that there is a lot of surprises for your fans. One of the things that I like the most about you when I met you a few years ago is that where you're so talented in
Thank you.
voice. You sing very well. At that time, we spoke about Shakira. Remember? And
Yes.
I know that uh, um, there is a starting a new and wonderful career for you and at that field. So tell me about being a singer and what the people can expect about Catriona Gray in this side of the world because we don't want you just in Asia or Philippines. We want you here singing.
Oh, thank you. Well, I just released well, it's not a first single, it's my second. It's called RYF or Raise Your Flag. And if you recall from my Miss Universe journey when I was on stage, I answered to Steve Harvey that if there was a song that would encapsulate or summarize my journey Miss Universe, I would call it Raise Your Flag. And it's actually become a song now. And it seemed like a very appropriate way to kick off my singing career. Of course, I did two different versions just to put a little spin on it, but the lyrics are really one that I feel is very relatable to what we're going through right now. The lyrics are very empowering, and if anyone is watching here with us that hasn't checked it out yet, it's available on all digital platforms. But it's really an anthem. But my upcoming music that will be released in a few months That's a bit different. It's really a shift. Whereas RYF is me as Miss Universe still. It still has that connection to pageantry and my journey and representing the Philippines and my country. But my new music is completely different. It's me
Really?
as an artist. Yes, it's me as an artist with no reference to pageantry in that sense. I'm releasing some love songs actually that I wrote myself. It's a
Oh,
very new endeavor for me, a very nervous but exciting one because sharing my heart in that way through a song is something I have not yet done. So I really look forward to it. Also, we're working on creating an original Christmas song also. So I know that Christmas is also big in Latin America, just like here in the Philippines. So I hope that all this new music, you guys, wherever you are in the world, you'll also enjoy it as much as I did creating it.
you have to promise me something because I bet that you're going to be very successful, and I'm sure that we're going to get all your music work. But you have to promise me that you have to you're gonna sing at least one Spanish song.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I will
Catriona,
try my best, but I would love to do that. I think it's a wonderful way to connect with through to other people through their language. So
yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
promise you, I will do that for you.
Catriona, listen, I have like a mix of emotions with you because I know that you're gonna be very successful as a singer, and you already recognize with your beautiful voice, but also I know you have a big challenge in your career as a host, as a TV host, and you did like extraordinary work in Bimini, Philippines, a couple days before. And
Mhm.
also, I had the opportunity to see you hosting the preliminary show in Miss Universe 2019. And I
Mhm.
was thinking that it's very natural on you. Do you
Thank
visualize
you.
yourself being a TV host or interviewer? You have been in many interviews all around the world in different places, and you're very natural. So, do you
Thank
see
you.
yourself as a TV hostess like Oprah Winfrey or Barbara Walters,
Mm.
as an interviewer?
I definitely would love to explore those opportunities. I love talking. But I also love to be in a position where I can pass on my knowledge and my experiences. I know that I'm only 27, but I've lived a little bit of a crazy life.
Yeah,
So I feel like I've picked up a lot of things along the way, and I love having opportunities. I know in pageantry, it's been presented to me to be able to
it's
talk
like
to
it's
girls, whether
like
it be
going to university, actually.
yes, whether as a host or as a mentor. I really enjoy opportunities like that. And I also love having the platform to be able to share what I've gone through, what I hope people could take away from that. So hosting is definitely something I'm very much open to. And I very much enjoy. Actually, a couple of days ago, I hosted the national pageant of the Philippines, Binibining Pilipinas. So that was a lot of fun.
I'm sorry about my pronunciation because I think I didn't do it right. Bimini?
No,
How do
it's fine. Binibining
you Bimini? Oh,
Pilipinas.
sorry.
Yeah. No, not at
I'm
all.
sorry about my English too, to speak English speaking audience. But anyway, one of the main reasons that made me make me admire you is that you're very persistent in your goals. You told me a few minutes ago, and I think everything is start with dreaming with a crown to being a beauty queen. When that dream start in Catriona Gray, when she was a little child, tell me about your first dreams being recognized as a beauty queen and change your world being a beauty queen.
Well, it's actually really funny, Louise, because when I was a little girl, I didn't dream of being a beauty queen at all.
Really?
Um, yeah, I didn't know much about pageantry in my eyes, and I think it's a conception that a lot of people have is that pageantry was just an annual event, like a show that happens once a
Exactly.
year. I didn't know a lot about what the actual rules and responsibilities were of the title holder afterwards, or what they stood for. It wasn't until I was 21 and I had a very close friend join a national pageant, which was Miss World Philippines. And I watched my first live pageant when I went to support her, and my eyes were open to this platform of pageantry. At that same time, I had been volunteering at Young Focus, which is my educational NGO that I work with here in Manila, for a couple of months, and I wanted to do more for them than just volunteer. So I kind of, when I saw the platform of pageantry, how people would listen to the queens, how they had so much reverence in social circles or even in the country, I started to think, what if I could use the platform of pageantry to elevate my cause work, which really is the essence of pageantry now. But that's something that I did not know until I had that realization. So that's how my dream of pageantry began. And I'm very thankful that my dream was started from my charity work, because I feel like it became my anchor throughout my whole journey as a contestant, as a Miss Philippines, as a Miss Universe, and even until now. It's the work that fulfills me the most. It's the most memorable work I did during my reign. And it's work that I'm able to continue to this day. So the dream of pageantry was really just the platform that I needed to elevate the things that I care about and am passionate about. And I know that I would not be able to have such a big a platform if not for that crown. And I know that the crown means a lot of different things for different girls, but that's what it meant for me.
It's not just about beauty. You found the real meaning to be a beauty queen. To really, you want world peace and change the world. And but at the beginning, you see like not that reasons. The people see. Or many of the people that doesn't understand the beauty pageants, they see like just beautiful girls walking in high heels. And but tell me about your family. Did you find at the beginning the support of your parents on this world, or what did they say to you when you realized that you want to do a career as a beauty queen?
I'm very, very blessed to have parents that have supported me ever since I was a little girl. And I know that not everyone can say that, but I have amazing parents. So they were very supportive of me when I came forward with my intention of joining. Of course, they were a little bit surprised because it was never in my plan originally. Even working with charity was not an original goal of mine. And as you said earlier, I'm very goal orientated, but I think it was almost an intervention from God in my life, that it wasn't the answer that I was looking for or the goal that I thought that I wanted, but I needed it because it really did shift me to this amazing path that I'm on. But my parents have been very supportive. My family is very supportive. And I'm very blessed to have a family like that.
That's very beautiful, because you reflect in some way, somehow, how your parents try to educate you. So,
Yeah.
but being a representative of Philippines in a beauty pageant right now represents like a very strong country. I'm from Colombia, and we know we are admiring the girls from Philippines in many years, and but I think that's a stronger challenge for a representative from the Philippines. Is that a good thing, or is a biggest challenge to be with the sash of Philippines in an international beauty pageant?
It definitely is a challenge because it comes with so much pressure. As you said, there's such high expectations of a Philippine delegate because we have set such a high standard. I think that's because we're very passionate about pageants, just like a lot of countries in Latin America and across Asia. And it's something that makes us very proud to see our delegates do well. With that being said, with that pressure also comes amazing support. We have very talented Filipino designers who really support the girls. We have many mentors, makeup and hairstylists who happily support our delegates and allow them to be their best. So it comes with pros and cons. But I think in my life, in my experience, being a Philippine delegate has been one of the most amazing journeys, the most amazing experiences. Yes, it came with its fair share of negativity, but the positivity, the support, the encouragement that I received from my countrymen far outweighed any of the negativity that I experienced.
Catriona, I told you, and I know that Andrea Mesa said that you were one of your favorite Miss Universe. But did you have a role model before being a beauty queen? You have like your favorite Miss Universe or Miss World? Who was this lucky lady?
I had different role models for different aspects of the pageant. So when it came to speaking, I really looked up to Lara Duta. I think she's 2000. Miss India, Miss Universe, because I just loved how magnetic, like how when she spoke, it was so magnetic. Like you were just drawn into her. And I love her composure and her grace. And then for walk, I actually looked up to Adriana Gutierrez, which was the first runner-up of 2015 in Miss Universe, because she has, for me, one of the most powerful walks I've seen on the Miss Universe stage. So she was one of my inspirations in a walk. So it really was just kind of cherry picking of what aspect do I look up to this woman for. And that's really what I looked up to when I was preparing for the pageant.
Catriona, you and Andrea Mesa has, as you told me, similar experiences because you both went to Miss World, and
Yes.
you didn't win, but that makes you stronger in the next competition that make you both the winner. In your Andrea told me that in Miss World she was like very obsessed with to win. She was very like focused on the
Yeah.
competition. In Miss World, in Miss Universe, she was more relaxed. She was like trying to enjoy everything. How was, in your case, your experience in each contest?
I very much relate to her in her answer. When I joined Miss World, I felt very much like a newbie because it was my first pageant, so I didn't really know what to expect. I was heavily guided by other people because I just didn't have much knowledge. But I really was focused, and my journey to Miss World meant so much to me because I was supporting my family at the time. And it was a dream that it wasn't just mine, but also my family's, and something that I just tried to navigate as I went along. So my anxiety and the pressure I put on myself was quite high. And that's why when I landed in top 5, I felt like I had failed in a very public way, like in front of the world. I felt like I had failed. And that was really hard on me.
You felt that way? You felt like a loser?
Yeah, because I feel like there, again, going back to how much pressure there is as a Philippine delegate, we expect a winner, right? But I was unable to bring that pride home to my country. And I'm a perfectionist. So if I set a very high standard for myself, and if I don't reach it, I'm disappointed. It's not to say that a top 5 is not a great placement. I mean, a top 5 is an amazing placement, and any woman should be proud to be in the top 5. But just the expectation I put on myself was the crown. And so not getting that crown, that was a failure to me personally. But then when it came to Miss Universe, I still was very focused, very, very focused, but I prepared in a different way because I had experience. So it gave me a little bit of confidence on how to go about my journey. And I took full control of my image, my social media, my styling. I created my own team. So I felt like I had full ownership of who I was as Catriona Gray Miss Philippines. And so I prepared so much that when I went to the competition, I just enjoyed it because I'm like, oh, I put in all the work. There's nothing more that I need to do. And I just really enjoyed the experience. The hosting in Thailand was one of the most memorable and amazing hostings, I think, of Miss Universe in recent history. And um, I didn't have that same anxiety standing on stage in the finals. I didn't have that same pressure. I was actually filled with a lot of gratitude because I felt that I had maximized each part of my journey and that I had done all that I could. I gave my best of my best, and wherever that landed me, I knew that I would be happy with. So it was a very different shift of mindset, just like Andrea. And again, I think that comes with experience and also learning and maturing as you go on.
And everything happened for a reason.
Yes, very true.
Probably, well, you will be a wonderful Miss World, but you are a better Miss Universe.
Thank
And
you.
I remember a few times I felt my favorites in Miss Universe. And since I saw your first picture, I remember you were using a big hat, and I said,
Yeah.
Philippines is gonna be the next Miss Universe.
Thank you.
A few times I don't see the winner, and in your case, I was with Philippines from the beginning.
Thank
But
you.
in your case, when you are a competitor and you see beautiful girls from all over the world, Venezuela, South Africa, Canada was beautiful that year.
Mhm.
Of course, there is a sisterhood between you, but you are
Yeah,
at the same time you are a competitor. Who
very true.
was in your point of view? Who was the bigger competitor in your year?
Oh, there was a lot. Because I feel like it was a very strong batch of girls. South Africa off the bat, she was one that I noticed from her interviews prior to going to the pageant. She's very well spoken, a very tall, beautiful girl. And then Miss Vietnam had a very striking look, amazing on stage. Puerto Rico, very charming. And then even Miss Nepal, she was very well spoken, very approachable.
Yeah,
Costa Rica, she
yeah,
had an amazing speaking ability. Like there were so many girls that honestly, I really felt like I was privileged enough to compete with such high standard representatives because there's a different satisfaction in doing well in a competition when you know that your competitors are very strong. Do you know what I mean? Like rather than winning and maybe feeling like you already had the edge, like I always felt that it could have been anyone. Like there were maybe like 7, 10 girls who would have easily made an amazing Miss Universe in
yeah.
my batch. So it makes me very proud that I was able to capture that title, but it was a very, very high quality batch of girls, I have to say.
I know what you mean, but there it was a special moment in that pageant when you I saw you with the crown. It was like when you were doing the final walk, and
Mm-hmm.
I saw you as a Miss Independent. Remember, it was like your song. It was like made for you. You were so confident. You were so elegant, so classy. And there is a lot of videos that I keep watching and watching and watching in YouTube. I don't know if you watch that. That you were like almost sure that the crown was for you because you were dancing and we're cheering the people. You were like you were the absolutely winner that night. But when you realized that you were the winner, for me, in my point of view, in my opinion, you were the winner from that moment.
Oh, thank you. I had a sense of confidence because I was the only girl in the top three who got to listen to all the answers because I went first. And the other girls actually didn't hear my answer because they had headphones on, right? So I had that sense of confidence because I knew where my answer stood amongst the other girls. But of course, you just never know. So there was never a level of certainty for me. Even when I was in top two, I wasn't certain that I would get the title again because I just feel like I just had an attitude of gratitude. Well, that rhymes. But I was so grateful to be there. And I loved every moment of that final walk. It is one of my most memorable experiences because I love Neo so much. Like ever since I was younger, when I was a 15-year-old girl, like he is one of my favorite artists, and that song is one of my favorites. So just to have him there live and to be at this universe in the top three, like, was just an amazing, amazing experience. And so, not a level of certainty that I was going to win, but I was confident that I performed well, if that makes sense.
Catriona, after the crowning, I would like to do a recap what happened until these days. And I would like to ask you simple questions, and I would like to know not simple answers because I love the way you say everything, but I would like to know everything was how you expected. Being a Miss Universe, was everything that how you expected, or it changed a little?
It was a little bit different, I think, because when you are competing, you're always just looking at the title, right? But then when you get the title, you're kind of unknown to what your year's going to look like. But living in New York was amazing. I loved that experience so much. And to imagine me, like
And
a
eating
Filipina
empanadas with
living,
me as one of the best things, you know?
yes, one of the best meals for sure. And living in the New York was just, it was an amazing experience. Like, wow, I can say that I lived in New York. And being able to travel, although I didn't travel a lot, was a great experience for me because I was able to meet so many amazing people from different cultures. And as you know, advocacy is very important to me. And one of my other advocacies, aside from education, is advocating for HIV and AIDS awareness and testing. So being able to also really see how it affects different cultures and different countries and kind of have conversations about fixing that problem or overcoming that challenge was really eye-opening to me. I also flew a lot back home to the Philippines, which I did not personally expect that I would do. Because of course I had a lot of work, a lot of endorsements, but I'm happy to say that I feel like I had a variety during my year. Even though I know a lot of people didn't feel that I traveled a lot, I feel that I was able to give talks, I was able to do charity work, I was able to do endorsements and events and red carpet events, and I was able to do a plethora of different things. So it'll be an experience that I'll always be forever grateful for. And but I really feel that the year is not what it's all about. It's really about your life that continues afterwards. And I felt that when I had finished my reign, I wanted to continue my work in a way that would say, the title is how I define it. It doesn't just end when I pass on this crown. I'm going to give people a reason to remember that I still have a title of my own, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like living like 12 years in 1 year. It's like a lot of experiences. But if you have to
Yes.
pick just one experience, what could be the best thing to be Miss Universe? Just one thing.
It's one of the aspects.
Yeah, if you have to pick one thing to be grateful to be Miss Universe, what could be for Catriona Gray?
It would be being given the opportunity to speak. And not just to social media, on social media platforms, but pre-pandemic, of course, was my reign. So I was given the opportunity to speak to a lot of different people, whether it be at charity events or to a group of women or a group of children. It was really that one-to-one connection that I was able to have with people that really stand out to me as memorable, because I feel like that's the role of a Miss Universe. Everyone says, I want to inspire, I want to empower, but like, what does that actually look like? And that for me is standing in front of someone and sharing your heart and your stories and hopefully educating them on how they can either find their own confidence, or that they can feel capable, or that they can feel worthy of pursuing a dream. And so I would choose that.
And if you have to pick one thing that you enjoy the less to being Miss Universe, what could be?
Be at the least, the enjoy the least.
Yeah. No, enjoy. No. What you didn't like? There is one aspect at least to don't enjoy being Miss Universe.
I think it was the sudden being flung into the public eye so quick. I think when you're a normal person and you're able to walk and do your own groceries and go and have coffee at a cafe, you know, those are the things that I did before I won. And then when I won, I wasn't able to do those things anymore, especially here in the Philippines. So that was a little bit hard for me to get used to, and I'm still not used to it because I still feel like I'm that same girl who's
The
normal,
regular
who you know.
person, you're a celebrity.
Yes, yes, but I can't wrap my head around it, and so that's something that, yeah, it's not something I really enjoy, the fame of it, because I don't like being treated as if I'm better or different than everyone else, because I may have a platform and I may have this extraordinary job, but I'm no better than anyone else. I don't deserve different or better treatment. Like, I'm a normal human being, and I wish that people would treat me that way. Yeah.
And that's why I think everybody loves you because you're so kind. So you try
Oh,
to be
thank
simple,
you.
but that it makes you bigger, great, like a better person. And
Thank you.
which one was your favorite country that you visit, being Miss Universe?
During my reign, I would have to say I really enjoyed South Africa. I had never been to the continent of Africa before in my life. So it was very new for me. And I was able to go on safari, and I was able to give a talk to one of the largest college campuses about LGBTQ awareness. And also the challenges facing the community. And then, of course, I was able to be a judge at Miss South Africa, where Zozibini Tunzi was crowned.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my!
it was a very memorable trip, and very special for me to also see her journey from just being a candidate to being crowned and then to being crowned Miss Universe. So yeah, very special.
And which one was your favorite or your most important memory being Miss Universe?
It was really my homecoming in the Philippines. It exceeded every single one of my expectations. The amount of people who came out during the street parades to celebrate. I've never had, I don't think, a moment that I felt more proud, or that I felt, yeah, I just, to give that amount of joy to thousands upon thousands of people. It was really just a memory that I'll forever hold on to in my life. I don't even know how I can top that, to be honest, because it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I'll treasure it forever.
And any exotic food in that year?
Oh, I can't say that I tried a lot of exotic food because I'm not very adventurous when it comes to exotic food. I think I tried, I believe it was frog in Indonesia when I was there.
What was it?
It was interesting. It really does have the texture of chicken. It just has
Yeah.
less meat and a lot more bone.
Will you try it again?
Yeah, I think I would. That's not too exotic for me. I think there are other things that I'd probably say no to rather than
Who was the most important person that you meet being Miss Universe or in these years?
Oh, that's a hard question. I was actually able to meet and talk with Ashley Graham. She's
Oh,
an American model spokesperson and advocate, and she advocates for body positivity. And she just has the most larger than life personality. She's so funny and approachable, and I just love what she stands for and the impact she's been able to make on the modeling industry. So it was very cool to meet her. She's definitely one person who I met that really stands out.
And did you have any uh, famous that you never expected start following you in social media after being crowned? That you say, "Oh my God, these people start following me. I'm famous."
Actually, just last week, I realized that Sofia Vergara is following me on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
The
I'm
Colombians love
surprised.
you. It's to make sure that the Colombians love you.
I was so surprised. I was like, really? And then I checked. I was like, oh my gosh, she is. And I was so, yeah, I was so surprised. I didn't expect it at all.
Catriona, and how do you visualize your family life in the future? I know that your family values, and I know that
Mm,
you're in some way, somehow, in a very difficult field, because being an entertainer, some way, somehow, uh, you have to be very strong with your principles. But how do you
yeah.
visualize in the career that you are starting as a singer, your family life in the future? Do you see yourself married with children, etc., etc.?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to have a family of my own in maybe 5 years. I'm already 27, so I feel like the pandemic, I did have a timeline before, but I feel the pandemic has also shifted a lot of things back because a lot of projects that I wanted to do in my personal career have been pushed back also. So it does become a little bit like a juggling act, as you've said. But I definitely do want that. I do want a family life. I would love to be, married and have my own family. And it's also a realization during the pandemic because I'm away currently from my parents and I'm an only child and I'm very, very close to my mother. And she had me when she was 27. And so now me at 27, I love our relationship so much that it makes me a little bit sad that I'm not yet building my own relationship or my own family yet. Do you know what I mean? Like it's still in the far off future. So I look forward to the day when that finally happens. But for now, I'm enjoying being very ambitious in terms of my career and really just going forward and doing all the things that I want to do and that I can still do. Um, but yeah, it's funny like that, like adulting.
And there is somebody special in your heart right now.
Yes, there is. I do have a special someone. It's been a little bit difficult because with this pandemic and the traveling, we've spent a lot of time long distance. But he's been a great support in all of my endeavors and in my career. And I'm very grateful to have someone who is behind me and just cheering for me and really supporting me in that way.
I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna do the question anyway.
Okay.
If you have a daughter, and she asks you your permission or your point of view to being a beauty queen, would you support her?
Yes, I would. I mean, my experience has been a very positive one. And I would, of course, try and equip her with the tools and, try and pass on my wisdom and my experience to hopefully allow her to have the most positive experience possible. But I would not be someone to say, no, don't do that. I would want to support my children in whatever they would want to do with themselves.
And my last question for you, Katrina, but being very, very, very grateful with this time with you to realize that that girl that I met a few years ago, just a couple of days after your crowning, is still being the most simple, nicest person I ever met, and I love your country through you. I
Thank
think you have
you.
been the best ambassador that the Philippines have the last years, and you deserve everything, the best of your life. I'm sorry about my English; it makes me a little bit
No, it's
emotional.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Louise.
But anyway, you are teaching a lot of lessons to girls that realize that being a beauty queen or being a Miss Universe is not just the to be in a stage walking in evening gowns, is to
Mhm.
change the world. And one of the
Yeah.
best to be a beauty queen, you have told me a couple of minutes ago, is the social work, being a philanthropist. So I know that right now you have a very important cause that is being ambassador Smile Train, but I
Yeah.
know you keep doing a lot of social work, not just for Philippines, many places all around the world. Tell me about your that the most important thing to be a beauty queen or a person like you. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely feel that you don't need a crown or a title to be able to contribute to your community. And that's what I try and empower people with, to say you don't need to be a Miss Universe or to have this platform, a huge platform, to make a difference, because even a small difference is an impactful one. I do work with a lot of groups such as Smile Train. When I went to Colombia last year, I was able to do an outreach with them, and I have some outreach trips with them coming up this year, and also advocating for education, um, working a lot with promoting a lot of small Philippine businesses and weaving communities here in the Philippines, and also advocating for the Red Cross. So I do a lot. But that's not to say that those who are watching who want to make a difference, that you need to put yourself with all these different things. It could be as simple as, you know, reaching out to a neighbor that you know has fallen on hard times, maybe helping them with groceries, or just checking up on a friend to check in, like, how are you? It can be as simple as that. But actually, in terms of passing lessons on to young girls, I do have an upcoming academy. It's called the Catriona Gray Academy. It's available on nasacademy.com. And it's actually almost like a master class, if you would say, that I really talk about what being a queen really is. The title is How to Be a Queen, but it's not about pasarela and walking and makeup and gowns. It's about what I believe a queen is to be, which is a servant to her community. Because I know that people think, oh, a queen needs to be up here, where my definition of a queen is someone who comes down to the people and serves them or contributes to them in a positive way. So if you guys would be interested in that, it's available for sign up, that you can sign up, and hopefully I'll see you during the course. There'll be a live party there that I can see you guys all on Zoom. But I really, it makes me proud to see that there are so many young women approaching different platforms, not just pageantry, with a bigger purpose. Because I think that's what we all need to do, right? That's what we kind of need to ask of ourselves, is not what can I just do for myself, but what can I do for other people? And especially we're in a pandemic. If we raise up a generation to have that sort of attitude, I think that we could really be great agents of change. And that's what I would hope to see.
Catriona, I'm really blessed and lucky to have you in this live. I know that a lot of people will think the same way, and you can count on me in your social causes, because I know that
Thank
you're doing
you.
from your heart. And thank you so much for this time. Catriona, thank you so much. I was telling everybody that, well, we're very blessed to have you. And I'm going to try to do a recap this Sunday to every single topic that we talk, because I think even that we're talking different aspects in your life. You are giving a lot of lessons to many people, not just girls, everybody who wants to do something to change the world. Thank you, Catriona Gray. The best of luck, and you can count on us. I want to see you in Telemundo soon. And,
Yeah.
well, maybe someday you're going to be here working with us.
Yeah. I would love to, and I hope to see you soon, Luis. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with you again. And also thank you to everyone who's tuned in with us. We love you. Stay safe. Muchas gracias, Luis. And see you very soon.
See you soon. Un beso. Ciao.
See you.
Ciao.